which we can build informed debate. And mutual accountabilities. It's a theme I talk a lot about, mutual accountability. It's not just what I expect others to be accountable for, it's what I need to be accountable for. It's creating a dialogue so that we can share those accountabilities to produce a result that is better for all and respects the needs and interests of all. The standard cannot be winning or losing. It cannot be energy versus the environment. We need dialogue and we need trust. Trust comes from dialogue. Trust comes from respect. Trust comes from early and often listening and conversation. In order to move these projects and provincial and federal pathways forward. What better way to harness the technologies from tomorrow than off of the riches of today? I too want a future of less fossil fuel. I too want a flawless safety record. And I too want to accept accountability for respecting the views and the opinions of people that I differ with.
We have a question here on compensating the First Nations. And history says that the Coldwater First Nations received $1,300 for compensation of the pipeline through the land in 1952. Do you have any comments on how we make sure that the First Nations are taken care of as part of this next generation of pipelines and the next generation of development?
Yeah, as I mentioned, and as I've been really assured as the companies that we look at that deal with it in the upstream side of things, they work very closely with the First Nations in their areas. When it comes to pipeline construction, though, the pipeline companies are the ones that have been out on the forefront of this, talking to the First Nations through which they're traveling. Ian showed the map of all the ones that he's out talking to and ensuring that they understand that. And as part of that discussion, of course, it deals with their traditional values. What can they bring as far as knowledge to the game? What else can be done ensuring safety and responsibility in the operations? And of course then, what is it going to happen for the economic benefits that come out of that? As the industry, it's really been that front end on the ground where the infrastructure is being put in place. If it's the oil sands companies in the oil sands area, they're the ones that are talking to their neighbors because they're going to be there for 40 or 50 years. If it's through a pipeline right away, it's going to be Ian and his company that talks to them because they're going to be there. They have been there for 60 years. They're going to be there hopefully for another 40, 50, 60, 100 years as we move through that. And so that's the way that we've dealt with that. We believe that that face-to-face dialogue is the best way to address all of the issues, including the financial issues that go along with it.
We face loud critics who are well-funded. But by pursuing narrow and ideological agendas that undermine confidence in the world's most responsible energy producer, they are not taking the right approach. This week, I was really personally disturbed when I heard that they'd taken these tactics to Premier Clark's front line. I understand that there are people that have different perspectives, and I understand that there are political parties and political organizations that want to have a discussion with respect to the balance between environmental impact and economic development. We will see people that are opposed to these plans that will make Canada a global energy superpower. But we need to talk about what our success has been. We need to be honest about what it means to Canadians. We have to understand that this directly impacts not just our economic growth, but our quality of life.